welcome back to another episode of Who Are You? Today we're going to be talking about volunteering and extracurricular activities. We're actually joined by two special guests, which are, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Hi guys, my name is Ellen and I'm from AIESEC. I'm a team leader.
Hey guys, I'm Hailey. I'm from ASOC. I'm the Publications Director.
Tina, and I am an AIESEC member.
I am Felicia. Oh, I forgot my name for a second. I'm Felicia, and I am the Vice President of ASOC. So let's get into it.
So we're going to be talking about volunteering. So we're going to go around and just talk about, just our experiences with volunteering, what we do. It doesn't have to be volunteering related, it can just be extracurricular. So I'll start. So I guess AIESEC would be a volunteering, the subcommittee, and also I do other volunteering events. So I've done a lot of events volunteering, but I'm also getting more into committee volunteering. I'm part of this WorkPad Youth Steering Committee where we help young people with job related stuff, from making websites to videos.
Yeah. I would say AIESEC is a big part of the extracurricular activities because you have to spend so much time on it. Just helping a team and having a team as well. And then right now I haven't been doing much outside of that, as in actual extracurricular activity wise, volunteering wise. I do have work as well, but I wouldn't count that as anything productive. It's just full of money.
That's how you pay rent.
Exactly.
So yeah, I actually do a lot of extracurricular activities, and that one of them includes AIESEC, of course. It's a big part of my life. I also enjoy my passions, which include dancing, singing, and all that jazz, all the performing arts sort of things.
So cool.
No, it's because I enjoy it. That's why I do it.
And you do well in it.
No. I'm gonna say I like to dance. I wouldn't call myself a dancer so much. So I just like to dance. And also I also like to swim because that's part of my job. I'm a swimming teacher, so I would usually go to the gym a lot with my mates, and we'd swim a lot as well. So yeah, I think that's my extracurricular activities.
Alrighty, so for me, extracurricular activities, quite a lot I would say. Perhaps not the best, but I do 2 societies, so Accounting Society is one of them, and also in Random Acts of Kindness Society. So these are the 2 main societies I'm in uni. I used to do judo as well. So extracurricular, apart from that, not really much outside uni. Volunteering wise, not much as well. I'd say I do a lot in high school, but now the recent one would be actually doing social media content for a charity.
Oh,
and that's basically it. Work, I feel you, Philly. A lot of work, part-time and casual. So I feel I do part-time because it adds values to me, because I do accounting in a mortgage firm. So yeah, not just for the money, but the experience mainly. So yeah.
You want the benefits of volunteering.
Okay. No, does anyone want to start?
You want to?
Okay, sure, why not? So yeah, obviously volunteering is, makes you feel actually a good person. For me, no, it's true. When you volunteer to do stuff, not only does it make you feel I'm doing a good social impact thing, right? It's also I'm a good person, And it actually, it makes sense, because when you do something out of your own kindness, random acts of kindness, right? There's a certain what's it called, endorphins or something, the hormone, it gets released, right? Because you feel you're being a good person. But also on top of that, you get to meet a lot of people. The reason why I stayed in AIESEC was because the people there were literally like, well, you. Like the people there was actually worth to stay for. Like they were so supportive, and you know, regardless whether I am going through a bad day or a good day, they'd still be there whether or not, you know. So I think the people you meet is very important, because also AIESEC, we are very like-minded. We want to focus on self-development, and through that everyone kind of understands each other. So yeah, the benefits for me are like the people and you feeling good about, you know, yourself as well.
Yeah, I would say the same. Like, it feels very fulfilling in a sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like when you get to, when you're not like doing it for money, or when you're not doing it for a like certain purpose. Well, you are doing it to kind of fulfill yourself and to help other people, I guess, in that sense. But you're doing it for other people's, like for other people, and not necessarily for yourself, and that feels very rewarding. It's just very fulfilling in the sense that like you feel like you're contributing to the world in like small steps, even not big. Obviously, we're just little people, we can't do much, but it feels like you're, you know, contributing to that collective, like, you know, you're helping the world get better, and you're helping other people, so that feels really nice. And also, I would say friends as well, like the people, like I also joined random acts of kindness just for Hailey, because she said she was struggling, and I was like, I'm gonna go in to help her. I didn't do much, but
I love you, Philly.
Thanks for yeah, but I think it is really the people. You get to meet so many people, and like you get to help each other as well on the way, and that feels very like fulfilling.
Uplifting.
Yeah,
I just want to clarify the reason why I said like, oh, it makes you feel like a good person, also because it's to do with my why. Like my why in life is to create a good social impact, because it genuinely makes me feel like I'm doing something good to humanity, sort of thing. That's why it's not like me just being like, oh yeah, I'm a charity person, I'm doing it for the good of people and for social media. I actually enjoy helping people because it makes me feel good. Like when I see people smile because of me, when I see people laugh because of me, I feel so good. Like it's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
And if I've changed someone's like life in a positive way, oh, it makes me feel so good. So yeah. Do you have anything to say?
I do agree with the people, but like not just volunteering, I'd say, like anything in general, even society. Like part of the reason why I joined accounting is because there's a lot of like-minded people as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like in my role as the publications director, I feel like I'm just like helping a lot of students get more information about accounting itself, because after all, uni life is just so short, and after you just get back into society, you need as much information as you can get, and I feel like I'm helping people by achieving that.
Yeah.
So yeah, people, like-minded people, helping the world. I agree with you when I say I really like helping people.
Yeah.
The smile you get from the people is like amazing. But apart from like just doing society impact and that, volunteering actually gives some personal benefit as well, like soft skills.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like teamwork, communication, leadership. There's so many soft skills you can earn, like gain from this experience. So it's not just work experience, right? So like even if you go to job interviews, it's something you can save your star statement, like behavioral questions and all that, or put on your CV and everything. Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely important when finding a job, especially like a lot of young people with their first job. Like volunteering really helps with that. Definitely agree with what you guys said about like finding that purpose, and that was probably one of the reasons why I did social work, because towards after my HSC I didn't know what to do, and I was kind of like stuck. I was gonna do physio, but I didn't find like the passion in doing physio. But then I feel like volunteering, especially like my last volunteering, the work pad thing I mentioned before, it helped me to realize like what I want to do, and that's why I did social work.
Actually, a lot of people, a lot of workforce, a lot of workplaces, they don't particularly look for your uni degree. Like a lot of times, like I think you would know that they look for your experiences outside of uni, what you do in your free time when you're like contributing to other things, you know, like for society work, I know that's something that a lot of companies actually value, and yeah, so it's not necessarily about, you know, excelling at like university. Sometimes it's about, you know, spending this extra time doing something else, contributing to other parts of, you know, whatever you do. And yeah, people, it shows as well through your interview skills and stuff like that. I think joining AIESEC, I definitely developed a lot of like communication skills. And I wasn't too bad at before. I'm just saying, it helped. You know what I mean? Like at the start, like it helped to do more professional type of talking. I would say that's something I lacked a lot before. So I think definitely join AIESEC and just any type of extracurricular activities help me to gain that skill. So.
I want to add on, like, volunteering can also be like a platform, right? In AIESEC, just for example, like we talk to a lot of industry professionals and leaders, and that can actually gain you exposure to that certain field. So joining societies or, you know, joining extracurricular things, you'll meet the same sort of people. Say for example, if you joined a swimming club, right? You would meet a lot of like people who are really good at swimming, and perhaps they might know some coaches, and perhaps they might know some organizations, and it just keeps on going on. It's like a network sort of thing. So that's why I think it's also important to think that like, it's also for your professional development, because they will look at that stuff and you can meet people and gain opportunities from that as well. And like you said, with the soft skills sort of thing, I joined AIESEC because I wanted to develop like more leadership skills. And it really has like shown me like how to like gain those skills, not because like I do more group work, but also because it provides me the platform to advance my leadership skills.
I'm just gonna boot on to Felicia's point about employers and like grades and all that. So now a lot of companies, like ASOC mentioned before, is that they don't just really focus on grades in uni anymore. It's just like they want to look like find a person who's balanced in everything, who's active, not just in uni focusing on something. But of course, this also depends on the industry you're going for, so you better check before you just believe in what I say. But like apart from that, I would say having societies and on your resume really shows that you're a proactive person, and this is something that a lot of companies do value. They want people who are proactive, people that they think they can work with. And so yeah, it's a good way to actually volunteer. But on top of that, actually it's not just volunteering in society stuff that you can actually gain professional networking. You can also go to networking events that societies hold. But of course you get more of like an insight if you're actually part of it, I would say. Yeah.
It's not many benefits of volunteering, however there are actually also negatives. So we're going to talk about, I feel like a big one would definitely be like time management.
Oh my god.
It's hard.
It's like difficult to like manage multiple like volunteering opportunities, and also with like social life and uni.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something you guys
Okay. Wow, thanks Felicia.
So you don't have any negatives.
I'm not as bad as you.
Okay, yeah, it kind of forces you to manage your time better, and if not, you basically fall behind. Like with every uni student, you probably had a lot of problems with time management. So yeah, basically what Tina said, time, you lose a lot of time. My schedule fills up so quickly every week, and like most of my friends, if they're not part of like the society I'm already in, they have to schedule time for me like 3 weeks in advance. It's like so hard to like meet up with my friends. Like I remember trying to meet up with my friends who also have their busy schedules, and we just couldn't align, and it took us months until we could actually meet up and have a good time. So it was really stressful. Yeah, just meeting up once was really hard, because if everyone in your group is also busy, like then they can't like cooperate with the time schedule. And we have to wait until like school holidays or something like that. But yeah, time is one of them. money is also a big factor. Not only because like we go to a lot of dinners and all that stuff. Yeah, but like it's a good social aspect, and like that's where you actually bond. But that, and also like the extracurriculars that I do are actually expensive. I do dance, and it may not be like, oh yeah, dance is like you just dance, right? But then I actually do as well ballet, and ballet, if Felicia would know, there's point shoes and there's a lot of equipment involved, and that requires hundreds and thousands of dollars. If you want to go to workshops, those require money, and time is money, and everything. You just waste a lot, not waste, I wouldn't say waste, like you spend a lot of time and money. And you know, that's up to you to figure out if it's worth it or not. I find it's worth it because it also gives me like downtime. Like I think it helps me have a break from uni and other things in my life. And also I guess dance has always been part of my life, which is why I think it's already a part of me. I think I'm obligated to do that, and it's also like I truly like to dance. But also when you're divided into different parts of your life, I find that you might have an identity crisis, because I do so many different things, like, you know, swimming, dancing, uni, AIESEC, and like work and all that stuff. You're everywhere at once, everything everywhere all at once. But yes, yeah, like it feels like that really, and you have to distribute like parts of yourself. You basically spread yourself thin, and you can't exactly commit to all of them like fully. Yeah, you can't engage with them fully. And it's kind of, to some extent, I feel guilty, because some people will expect some sort of commitment to me, and if I can't give them that, I feel like, oh, I'm not fulfilling my role. And if I have so many roles in my life that they probably don't care about, but I've kind of chosen this path for myself, so I should be able to do all of this like 100%. But yeah, that's one of the negatives of having a lot of extracurricular activities. You can't exactly be very good at what you do because your time is so spread out in other things that you do, and you're basically average at every single thing, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And yeah, you don't really know how to like define yourself to other people except to be like, oh yeah, I can do this, or I can do that. So like in a sense, if you do too much, it's also like you're a jack of all trades but master of none sort of idea. And I've always related to that statement because I've always been in that nature where it's like, oh, I'm somewhat good at like most things, but I'm never really gonna truly be good at it because I'm never putting the effort into one focused thing. That's why. Yeah. You want to talk about more?
That is so deep. I was like, oh, should I continue singing?
Damn. Yeah. It's from the soul.
It's very deep, very deep. I do agree with everything you say, honestly, because I also do extracurriculars like judo and all that. Those need equipment, that's like time, money, spreading yourself thin. Very, very accurate, I'll say. At the same time, you also have to make a lot of sacrifices as well.
Yes.
Like you're sacrificing your time with like the people you want to be with, like family and friends. Yeah. This is something kind of hard, but I think we talked about it one night as well. We were like, oh, we just want to be everywhere at the same time, but at the same time we can't. So it's just something that we have to bear, I would say. Also, like, I don't know, meeting, like, I feel like I'm a person who actually likes to try a lot of new things, right? Mm-hmm. But with so much already on my plate, I have to contemplate, oh, whether or not I should just go for it, or just like, you know, remain in where I am with the current things I have and do better at it. So this is something I always contemplate, and not gonna lie, there's a lot of societies I still want to join, but then I just can't, I simply can't. I don't think I have the capacity to,
I actually want to say something in advance. Like, for those people who like actually want to like try everything, like you shouldn't expect yourself to be the best. Like you shouldn't expect yourself to be at like a certain level. Because I remember I expected myself after doing like leisure dancing for years, right, to be as good as those kids who have decided on their fate to be a professional dancer since like 12 and actually went to an academy. I joined like somewhat of that like dance school, and I expected to be like them, and it gave me so much stress. it was like a burden rather than a passion back then, because I was like, oh, I have to be better. I have to be better so that I can catch up with these kids who are actually so much better than me because they put so much more effort into me. If you go into a new thing, or if you go into something that you know that you haven't had much time in and have that mentality, it's going to break you down really fast, because it's unrealistic if you put that expectation for yourself to be a certain like level when you just started, because you obviously have other commitments. And yeah, don't expect yourself to be at that level. Take things one at a time. You focus on yourself, on what you want, rather than comparing yourself to other people. Yeah, because if not, you might just screw up, and I did screw up in that sense before.
You just end up giving up.
Yeah.
You're just losing that self-esteem and all that. I'd say.
Me, I did professional dancing like a while ago as well. As in, like, I nearly did full-time ballet, and it was a huge part of my life, and basically that was the main part of my life, basically, because I was in high school, and it was high school and then dance. So it was only those two, and I was so focused on it, like kind of what you said. I wanted to be a professional dancer. I wanted to, after high school, just, not go to like an actual uni, just go to ballet professionally, right? And I was very committed in doing that, because I didn't have anything else. I didn't have like other volunteering things. It was just ballet. And kind of what you said, it got to a point where I was like kind of obsessed. And it wasn't like, I wasn't, I don't know, like at one point I actually got injured. That's why I had to kind of stop completely.
Same.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it was a sign.
Injuries.
Yeah, I know. I think it was a sign that like, oh, maybe it's time to calm down a little. But that's something I regret a lot as well, though. Like, I completely stopped. I didn't even, I tried going back, but I like every single place that I went to when I tried going back, I hated them, because I think I had that expectation of, oh, this was who I was. Why couldn't I go there? Yeah, right.
That was me.
Yeah,
With
so
tennis.
I was. Yeah, you do dance as well.
I know, I do tennis.
Oh,
Yeah.
tennis. But yeah, like having that, when you excelled at something, and then you crash, right, because of injury, and then trying to get back again, I think I was beating myself up for like not being able to go back to where I was, and that's why after trying like a few ballet places, I was just like, I don't want to go to any, and I regret that so much. But because I was naive, I was like, either good or not good. Either good or nothing, and I think that was a very bad mentality to have. But now I know I want to get back to it, but it takes some time to fully accept that you can't be as good as where you were before. And I wanted to talk about like what you said, what you mentioned about identity crisis with different I guess groups. I think something that I've experienced as well with being in different groups previously, like it really takes away your, like you feel like you don't truly fit into anywhere.
Yeah.
And it, like, although it's fun times, like you meet so many people and you have fun everywhere you kind of go, but in any of those places, I always feel like I don't truly fit in. Like they have, they spend way more time together, and I'm there, but there's some pieces that are missing. So it just feels in a way a little bit empty, because you don't truly have that like tight people.
You feel like you're unintentionally excluded from some things, and they don't mean it at all. But it's like, it's a natural process. If you spend more time with someone, obviously you're going to have a tighter connection, and because of your commitment, you can't give them that. And there's going to be a difference in connection. What do you think, Tina?
I definitely agree, and I find it like sometimes hard to like prioritize, because I prioritize like sometimes volunteering more than other things, and then it just becomes a burden for me because I have to catch up on uni, and then also sometimes it's hard to then catch up with friends, like what you said before, and like I haven't seen some of my high school friends for a while. And it's also annoying. All the volunteering I do is also local and uni, and it's so annoying because sometimes I have like AIESEC stuff, and then I have to go back to like my local area and do like volunteering there, and it's such a journey, and it can be annoying sometimes. But I still enjoy it.
I do want to ask you, because you focus a lot of, I guess, your time on volunteering. Why is that? Like, what drives you to do that? I
started mostly like in year 12. I started volunteering. It was mostly for like for like uni, like that kind of like early entries and everything. And then after, it was kind of for like myself, as what Ellen said, like my why. And that's probably what drove me to do like social work. And I feel like one of the main reasons was like the WorkPad Youth Steering Committee. Like we were going to make like an online resources for like young people, recording these videos, and we wanted information. And when we went out to like do surveys of young people, it just taught us how so many young people are just struggling with finding a job. And it's not just because like they can't, it's because of like other things and like a lot of barriers that like they face. And it's kind of nice to kind of have like an impact on those young people and to help them.
All of that, I'd say like it's a really good opportunity to have yourself out of the box, like trying something new, trying something that you don't think you'll be able to achieve or do beforehand. Like for example, I did volunteering when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I was in a team of 11, and we have this 1-year program thing where we get to do any volunteering we want, but we have to plan it ourselves, organize it, execute it ourselves. So I thought this is a big thing. We have limited budget, limited resources. How are we able to do it? But what surprised me is what we actually pulled off in the end. Like, I never thought it's possible, but we had a medium-sized carnival in public, started from scratch, just to raise awareness about public health and like other cultures and stuff. So this is kind of like mind-blowing to me of how much I can achieve if I don't go to that volunteering center, I don't think I would ever know I can actually do this much. So it really challenged myself, step out of the box, and till now, I think it's a really big lesson for me and be like, oh, try new things. It's really nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna say as well, like, I think sometimes it's not necessarily about doing what you particularly love. You know, and I think volunteering and just doing extracurricular activities help you to, like doing multiple things, and help you to find what you're passionate about and try and, like what you said, just trying new things is something that can help you find who you want to be and what you want to be. And because like, you know, I wouldn't know that I like helping people, or like I wouldn't know that, you know, this is stuff that I like to do without actually stepping into those things and do it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like I kind of talked about in a previous episode on, the second episode I think, but throughout high school I joined a radio show, and after joining that radio show, seeing like how it's like the production of it, that's when I was like, oh my god, I want to start my own podcast, which is why this started. But yeah, like
I heard that in the other episode.
Me too.
It's kind of repeating. No, but yeah, like, you know, it's not necessarily about, because I didn't like public speaking. I didn't like talking that much at all. When I was in high school, I was quite shy and I was quite, you know, I was
But you
very
tried
in my like bubble, right?
Yeah, but you tried it.
Yeah, and just because, you know, someone was like, oh, do you want to try joining? And I joined it. That's when I realized, oh my god, this is something that's actually very interesting to me. And I think that's why it's always important, just get out there, do different things, even if it's not something you think you'd like.
Yeah. So
So
basically just be open. If you haven't tried it, don't say that you don't like it. Yeah.
I just find fairly amazing when she started a podcast, because I feel like she just started a podcast even though like she personally liked it, right? But she actually gave an opportunity to all the members to try something they haven't tried before. Like, I think not every member is just comfortable speaking in front of a camera, or like just comfortable like saying anything in public or anything. So like, it's really impressive for you to start this opportunity for all the members and like just like giving them this opportunity to learn more about themselves. And building on the point of like finding on what you like, I feel like any exposure to any opportunity, it's a way of becoming who you are in the future. It's like the past experience that becoming who you are.
Who are you?
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Good.
I definitely agree with what you said because like I was very introverted and I felt like I didn't know that I liked helping people. I didn't know I wanted to do like social work. For like the most of my high school I wanted to do like physics. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So then I feel like I remember like the first time I got into volunteering was because of a friend. And she told me, oh, let's do this like photography volunteering. And then I started like at events volunteering, and then I moved into like different like types of volunteering. I like helped homeless people once, and like I raised money for like cancer, and I kind of realized how much like I started to actually like volunteering. And it wasn't like I didn't do it because of like I didn't do it because I feel like I did it because like myself, and I felt like that's why. Yeah. I don't know.
It's for yourself, not for other people. I guess it's for other people, but like you did it for your own self-benefit as well.
And also I feel like it made me realize how much I also like talking to other people, and also because I was very introverted, and I kind of realized how much I also have like extroverted like aspects of me, and I kind of find it like fun to do these type of things and like get to connect up to other people.
Yeah, I think a part of it is also like meeting your group of people.
Ooh, yeah.
Like sometimes if you just stay at the same place, if you're not going out there trying different things, you don't know who you actually connect with. You don't know who you want to be surrounded by. And I think that's why like society and just any type of volunteering work really gets you to find who you connect with. So
yeah, and also like I'd say not to just try things like once. Maybe sometimes it grows on you rather than it just instantly makes you feel a certain way. Like same with people, right? If you meet them often enough, you will start finding things you like about them. So it's not necessarily like, oh, I've attended this one thing, I've started something new, but I don't like it because the first time was horrible. Like obviously first impressions is kind of important, but you shouldn't define your experience on that one event that happened in your life. So like, keep having a go at it. Maybe you will like it more after some time. If you really don't like it, then it's not for you, right? You gotta like find out what you like, find out whether you actually have passion for it. And I always tell this to my sister, like you gotta like enjoy the process rather than the result. If you like the process, then you're automatically going to succeed or do well in it because you keep doing it. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, on that note, I guess, what are the tips you have for people who want to get out there and do things, but maybe they are shy, don't know what to do, or just don't know what like action steps to take? Do you know tips for that?
Action steps?
I'd say probably do it with a friend. I'd say like if you have a friend to bring you along with you, it's like you'll be less lonely in the process. It can be a friend that who's already in the sport, so she can like a sport or like the activity you want to go into, so she can like she or he actually can like my bad
Or they
you can
just stick with that.
Yeah, so they can like help you out in the progress or like share the experience with you, or can it be someone who totally has no experience at all? It's just something that you guys want to try out together, and because when you have a partner you just feel more comfortable around them, you're more willing to try something new, and you feel like you have support as well, and you're not the only person going through this new program or activity as well. So it's something that I would say it's a good way. Like as I mentioned, my volunteering opportunity in high school, the carnival, I wasn't going to join that program myself, honestly. So I honestly joined because I was with my friends as well. So that's a really big tip for me.
True. I'd like to add on the note though, do be careful when you like do it with a friend, that you don't just stick with that friend the whole way.
Oh, that is so true though.
So like a lot of times we just stick with whatever's comfortable, but it's quite important to actually go out of our comfort zone. You might want to like go into something with your friend because you don't want to be alone, but it's also okay to go in there alone. If you kind of like cold water, like you can just like rip the band-aid off and just go into it without like seeing anyone. Also, it gives you a fresh start to meeting new people. They don't know who you are, so you can like present yourself, so that you're being seen as like who you are, or perhaps you just want to be completely like fresh into a place you don't know. That can actually give you a lot of like learning experience, because it, you go out of your comfort zone and all that stuff. It forces you to learn how to make friends and all that stuff. And practice makes better. So the more you actually put yourself out there, the more easier it's going to be. And most of the time people are quite reasonable. They'll understand where you come from. So if you make like a mistake or awkward encounter, it's not going to matter much. Like, they're not going to remember that. So yeah, don't be afraid to go out there, fail, and learn from your mistakes.
Honestly, I personally have this mindset as well when I go for society and stuff. Like, I never thought I'll get into a society. I never thought like I would end up actually being in a society. So, yeah, really? Why are you looking at me like that? So, like, in my first year, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do anything. I don't feel like I'm gonna fit in or anything. But, I had this mindset of like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna apply for anything I can, grasp any opportunity I can. Like, what is there for me to lose? Like, if I fail, as Ellen said, I just gain a learning opportunity. So I'm still gaining something out of this process. So why not just go through it, So anything you guys want to add on?
So I definitely agree. I think a lot of times it's not about like actually, like you talked about, it's about just really going into it and not be afraid to show your own like true self, I guess.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. And I think think of it in the sense that like everyone isn't on the same boat. Like so many people want to join, and like they're not gonna view you as anything. Like if you like mess up something, like no one's gonna care that much. People at the end of the day, they just care about themselves, and
I'm starting to get deep.
No, it's true. Yeah, like seriously, you don't. When you see someone else go into the same society as you, like everyone's on the same boat. And also, like, another thing I love about Australia is that like people are so welcoming. No one's gonna judge you. Like, you might think they are, but no one will. Something about Australia is that people are so welcoming, and especially all the societies that I have, I guess, encountered, everyone is just, they want you to be there, and it's such a nice community to be in. So don't be afraid, just go out there.
Yeah, I want to add on, if you ever join like a group or a society or community that kind of judges you in a certain way, or like creates a very uncomfortable vibe, that's when you know you shouldn't be in that group. Because like if you're not meeting like decent people who actually accept who you are, then like they're not going to be good friends to you. Like from my personal experience, if they don't accept who you are, or they don't try to understand you, or they try to brush you away, then it's like you shouldn't even be like spending time with these people. These people are not worth your time. You gotta find your people, find the people who actually support you endlessly. Yeah,
for sure. What do you think?
I definitely agree, and I feel like sometimes it takes time. Like it might not work, as you said before, it might not work in the first time. Just like keep joining like different societies, or even like there's other opportunities like at uni. It might not just even be societies. It might be like at your local council or like events around. There's like a lot of opportunities out there that you can meet people and like make a difference. I think similar to what we said before, it would be to manage time, because it is, as we said before, volunteering can be quite hard to manage your time. So I'm going to give us like our personal tips of how we would manage like extracurricular activities and volunteering. So I guess for me personally, like having a schedule, and also like learning to actually say no to things, and seeing that sometimes that you can't always do everything you want to do, and it's okay to say no.
We kind of talked about
We
this
talked about this.
in the first part of this series, I guess. Just to quickly mention it. So we have a podcast on the Accounting Society, which is the one Hailey is in. I think maybe you can talk about it.
Yeah.
So basically, we actually do have a part 1 to this episode. It's called The Balancing Act. It's going to be on Spotify, on the ASOC Spotify account. So all you have to do is basically just search up the balance brackets ASOC. Then you see episode 2, which would be more about balancing time and all the commitments we have. So yeah, I think it's going to be great insight.
It's with the same people as well, with Bonnie as well. So
Yep.
Hailey,
Some
me,
guests.
yeah, the guests like Hailey, me,
Yeah.
and Felicia are there talking about how we manage our time
Yeah,
and
so
schedules.
check it out as
So check
well.
it out. Yeah.
But definitely agree with you. I think just on that note as well, we are coming to the end of the episode. So thank you everyone for tuning in.
Should give a go, volunteer and get out there.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone want to say like
Oh, okay.
something for the audience to like take note of?
Don't be afraid to do whatever you want. It's your life. Do whatever the hell you want, but also have courage to really commit into something because you like doing it.
You just said what I want to say.
Oopsies.
Alrighty, so I'll say something else. You just never know what you're going to achieve from something. You just never know how far you can go. So just go for it, and yeah, you always get something out of it.